Vera Brittain was 21 years old when World War I broke out in 1914. She had just gotten into Somerville College at Oxford, just found the love of her life, just started living her dreams and breaking social norms for women when her world was shattered. Shortly into her schooling, she decided to leave Oxford and volunteer with the Voluntary Aid Detachment at hospitals in England, France, and Malta. During the war, she lost everyone she loved: her brother Edward, her two friends, Victor and Geoffrey, and on December 23, 1915, 2 days before Christmas, when he was due to be on leave and marry Vera, her fiancé, Roland Leighton, died of wounds in France.
Dearest Edward, I must tell you what happened yesterday. I was suddenly presented with a night off duty, so I decided to visit his family in Camer, and I arrived at the most opportune, yet awful moment. All Roland's things had just been sent back from the front through Cox's. They were just opened and lying all over the floor. I had no idea of the after results of an officer's death, or the returned kit, or what that meant. It was terrible. His sister and mother were crying as bitterly as they had on the day he had died. Everything was damp and worn and simply caked with mud, and I'm so very glad that neither you nor Victor were there to see it, or anyone who would ever go to the front. You would have been overwhelmed with the horror of war without its glory, for though Roland had worn these things while living, they smelled of graveyards and the dead. The fountains of mud which covered them, it's not ordinary mud. It's not that clean, that pure smell of earth. It smelled as if it were saturated in dead bodies. The charnel house smell, it got stronger and stronger, and it pervaded the room and obliterated everything else until his mother just shouted, "Please take them outside, burn them, bury them. They're not Roland. They're not him." The clothes were taken outside, we opened the windows, it got a bit better. But it did take quite a long time for that smell and taste to leave the room. Before, Roland and I had decided that the war was hardest upon us who were young. The old and the middle-aged, they had their joyful years, but upon us catastrophe had descended just in time to take away the youthful happiness which we believed we were entitled. I feel so alone, Edward. As if all hope is gone. Yet, I am unable to die.
The loss she experienced was a shared experience for her entire generation, the war generation. In 1933, Vera decided to write about the smashing up of her youth by the war so that she may, in her words, rescue something that might be of value, some element of truth and hope and usefulness for both those who experienced the Great War and future generations. Her memoir, Testament of Youth, has been said to both form and define the mood of its time and has been lauded as the voice of a generation.